Starting storm operation.
Leading up to the launch of Operation Warcade, I've got to say that I wasn't nearly as excited about it as some of my other YouTube friends. Graphically, it looks like a PlayStation 1 game, and I personally don't have a ton of nostalgia for Operation Wolf, the arcade shooter it pays homage to. But as it turns out, VR makes everything better, and Operation Warcade is no exception to that rule. The premise here is that you're actually standing in an arcade, playing the Operation Warcade arcade machine. There's a 2D flat version, or the immersive edition, where everything on screen actually has depth. You can even lean into the screen to see enemies approaching from either direction. There are specific times where you can shoot a box on screen that'll allow you to transport inside the game, breaking up the auto-scroll action and initiating a first-person minigame of sorts. Sometimes you'll be firing explosive arrows, or taking down enemies with shotguns out of the side of a helicopter. It's constantly keeping things interesting and mixing up the gameplay, adding some much-needed variety to the formula of the arcade original. But Operation Warcade really shines when it lets you pilot vehicles yourself. With one hand on the steering wheel and shooting bad guys with the other, these moments constantly gave me a brief glimpse as to what a Grand Theft Auto game would feel like in VR. For the record, these segments are over way too soon, and by far are my favorite part of Warcade. As I already mentioned, the graphics here aren't going to win anyone over. Everything has a low polygon count with even lower res textures, and enemies pop in on the horizon constantly, even on the PlayStation 4 Pro. But if there was ever an example of not judging a book by its cover, Operation Warcade is probably it. Using any controller you want, DualShock 4, dual moves, or the aim controller, blasting enemies stage after stage is undeniably fun. The progression system asks the player to perform specific tasks during each level, and the medals you collect for doing so unlock new stages and customizable weapon perks. I haven't unlocked every level or every perk, and I've been plugging away for hours. It'll take some time, and I'm sure I'll get there, but luckily I'm enjoying every minute.
Special grenade.
Operation Warcade isn't perfect. The level-to-level gameplay is definitely shallow, and the graphics need quite a bit of work. But if you can overlook its flaws, you'll find a really fun, somewhat addictive arcade-like gun shooter for the ADD crowd that never lets up. Whether you spent your childhood in an arcade and have fond memories of the title original, or you've never heard of Operation Wolf until just now, Operation Warcade is just too much fun to miss.